Alrighty, so we're on season 12, and as you've been noticing, I've been doing them in groups. I'm kind of hoping I can just do the last 4 seasons in one video. So season 12. Mary comes back from the dead because Amara realizes that family's important. So she's like, here, Dean, I'll give you your mom back. We meet the British men of letters. Lucifer also gets caught on the loose and gets a chick pregnant. So Mary has 30 years of catch up to play, but so do the boys, and she doesn't get that. And honestly, we kind of see how Mary would have been like if her and John's roles would have been reversed. I personally have a strong feeling that had the boys been raised by both of them in the world that they were in the hunting world, I think things would have been a little different. I don't think John still probably would have been not the greatest father, and Mary would not have been the greatest mother, but at least it would have been better. I don't know. This is the thought. You get the Bretts. I have a weird thing with Ketch. I really like Ketch. I have an OC who is actually the boy's sister. Can't remember if she's Sam or Dean's. I think she's Dean's twin, I think is what I did. And she hits up with Ketch. Just because I like the idea of that. And of course, Lucy gets a chick pregnant. Season 12, I mean, we deal with a lot of like we deal with a lot of other stuff that has going on in season 12. I just can't remember right now. Also, Ketch and Mary are kind of a couple at one point, which is really weird. So the key characters, of course, for season 12 were Sam, Dean, Mary, Cass, Lucifer, Kelly Klein, the woman that Lucy got pregnant, Rowena, Ketch, and Mick. If I remember correctly, we also meet Elaine. I think I said her name wrong. Hang on, I'm gonna see if I can find her name in here. No. Because I know she's in season 15. Did I not? Wow. Eileen. That's her name. The deaf girl, I believe, who Sam's final love interest we meet, I believe, in season 12, I believe. My memory is not the greatest. So we're just going to go straight into season 13. I'm just going to keep just going straight. So, season 13. So, at the end of season 12, Cass dies again. But this time, actually, really for real. Technically. Say technically because, yes, he does end, but he doesn't end. So we kind of, Mary gets stuck in another universe that we all call the Apocalypse World with Lucifer. Because that was the thing, because when Kelly was trying to give birth to Lucifer's son Jack, who, my sweet baby boy, happens. She basically goes and tries to make sure that Lucy can't come through and take his son and try to make him evil. And all this stuff happens. Apocalypse World, Cass said, Mary stuck with Lucy. So, Jack is Lucifer's son. Gabriel is not dead because he comes back because it's Gabe. After Castiel comes back from being dead this time, we get, honestly, the best crossover of all time, Scooby Natural. Mostly just because Dean is just like, do not mess with the sanctity of Scooby-Doo. That's what the entire episode is about. And Cass annoyed an ancient deity to let him go. I couldn't read my own handwriting. Basically, we kind of find out where angels and demons go when they truly die, which is what's called the Empty. And honestly, just Misha's voice. I like sleep. Honestly, the Empty is like all younger millennial Gen Z, some Gen Alpha. Just like we all can relate to that. I like sleep. So the main characters, of course, Sam, Dean, Cass, Jack, Mary, Lucy, Otherworld Bobby. Sadly, we did lose Crowley at the end of season 12. He sacrificed himself for the boys, which still annoyed me. And of course, Rowena, because I love her. One thing I do really like about season 13 is the fact that we learn more about Dean and how he feels about things and how Sam feels about things. Like, Sam sees himself in Jack. So does Dean. And so does Cass. Because, like Castiel, Jack has some angelic abilities. However, like Sam, there's that connection to Lucifer. But also, like Dean, he wants to prove himself to his father figure. Dean did that with John and Bobby, but not as much with Bobby as he did John. Sam has always had issues with being perceived as evil when he wasn't. And Cass just has issues that I don't want to get into. So we're going over to season 14 because, again, I'm just kind of skipping through them because I don't remember a lot. Season 14, yes, Michael Dean. Chuck is a dick and Jack wants peace. So, at the end of season 13, Apocalypse Michael gets Dean to say yes so that he could kill Lucifer from our world. However, the Apocalypse Michael breaks the deal that he had with Dean. Dean's trapped in his own mind, and chaos ensues. To the usual. Sam, Cass, and Jack try to save him. That doesn't really work. Jack accidentally kills Mary. Dean does not like it. Apocalypse Michael dies, and Chuck is a dick. So Jack wants peace. He finds out that lying is bad. He realizes how bad lying really is for the world. So he kind of forces everyone to be brutally and horribly honest. And Chuck kind of orders Dean to kill Jack. And Dean refuses, and Chuck kills Jack, and it's a whole thing. And yeah, I'm not going to go over the key characters this time because I'm going to talk about them all. Alright, season 15, the last season. Jack comes back from the dead, making a deal with the empty. Chuck is still a dick, and Cass dies for good. We will talk about the ending of the show because of COVID. And I'm honestly just more really want to get to this part because I was getting tired of talking about some of the seasons. Chuck just starts killing all the other worlds he had. Amara tries to help the boys as much as she could. Jack isn't dead. And Rowena sacrificed herself. Her ending being Sam kills her. She kind of forced Sam to kill her, so it was complicated. So Cass had made a deal with the empty at one point to give Jack his soul back. From his human soul from heaven, basically. And he made good on that deal. I used it to save Dean's life. And Castiel and Destiel becomes canon. So we're going to talk about... Basically, we're just going to talk about the last few episodes of Supernatural in this video because I gave my 2 cents about Dean's death in a few TikTok videos the day it happened because... Yes, I know a lot of people hated his and how Dean's ending, but first we're going to talk about Castiel's confession. I'm specifically saying Castiel instead of Cass, because this is truly who he is. He loved Dean. He's in love with Dean, no matter what people say. I've always enjoyed that part of Cass. How he's never understood humanity, but he always understood Dean. And his confession to Dean was heartbreaking. Dean, and the fact that Dean couldn't reciprocate it, and I wish he had, but he couldn't. And honestly, like, because Dean has been through a lot. He has, but that's beside the point right now. God, that one killed me. Because I did not watch that episode. Like I said in the previous video, I don't remember which one. I didn't really watch I didn't really watch season 14 or season 15, but I did watch the endings. I watched the last episode of season 15 because I was like, I refuse not to watch the season finale, the series finale. So I didn't watch. I know that Chuck kind of goes crazy and starts basically just destroying everybody. And then at the last episode of Supernatural, I understand a lot of people did not like the way that Dean died. However, I think it was fitting. Because they've talked a big game about how Sam Dean would die for real in the show. Like, they blaze of glory, all this stuff, and I'm just thinking like, no, it's gonna be something stupid because they've built up how they want to die so much in their heads their entire lives since they started hunting, really, since the beginning of the show. Dean being basically shoved into barbed wire, a piece of rebarb or whatever it was, I can't remember, felt fitting. And the way he told Sam that it was okay was amazing. And because out of the two of them, Dean was never going to die of old age. He was always going to die on a hunt. I liked the way they did it. You guys can disagree with me in the comments, but they always talk about dying, guns blazing, but because he did die guns blazing technically, but it wasn't so overly dramatic to the point where it was weird. It was too much. It was the right amount. And with how Sam thinks dying of old age and not hunting anymore was what he wanted. Like back in the beginning, he just wanted to settle down, have a family, live life normally. And then they reunite in heaven, and they just go riding and baby. Because that's who they were. That's who they've always been to, especially to us. So if they hadn't done it the way they did, I still do think they could have done the last episode better, but okay, with what they could do because of COVID restrictions, I liked their endings. Now, I honestly think if they could really redo the last episode ever, just to give us the ending that we deserved/wanted. Honestly, I feel like the boys would, they all would, I feel like, if they could, because why wouldn't they? This has been part of their lives for 15 years. I don't know why I am getting emotional. Probably because I'm thinking about just everything that for 15 years, this was their life. This is who they were. If they could give us a better ending than what they had to give us, I know for a fact Jensen would hop on it. I know Misha would hop on it. I feel like Jerry would too. I'm pretty sure Alex would as well. But it just comes down to if Warner Brothers and the CW or whatever would do it. And then it would come down to the boys. That's something I would ask them. If they could reshoot the finale, the series finale in any way, like give us a better ending than what we got. Because yes, the ending we got was not the greatest. Could have been a heck of a lot better. But give us a better ending that was more in line with who they were and what they felt should have been better. Would they? So, and as always, I've been asking questions. I'm trying to, at least. My question for you. Because, yes, I did kind of speed through the last 4 seasons. Why, or I should say, what was your favorite part of of seasons 12 through 15? Whether it's multiple parts, one for each season, or just one specific overall arching point. I personally don't have a favorite. So, just because there was just so much that went on in those last 4 seasons, but not enough that was memorable, if that makes sense. At least not to me. I'm curious. And as a reminder, in the next video, we'll be talking about the ships. So please be kind in the comments. These are also ships that I either find funny because I was looking them up, or they are actually something I ship, or I just want to make comments about them. So I think I have a ship in there that I just want to make a comment about, just because it's a thing. I know I will have that for Marvel, because Marvel's going to be long. That's going to be a long one that I might just periodically just throw in there. And then just do like one overarching ship video for all of the MCU. And that one will be continuously updated once we get more of the last of Phase 4, because I know Phase 4 hasn't been finished yet, I don't think. Or I might have just finished it, and we can get more of Phase 5 and Phase 6. So, as always, laugh hard, run fast, stay nerdy. Love you guys.